What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're back with another Monday Ramble. And first and foremost, if you're new here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I do appreciate it, guys. So, and welcome to the community, man. And if you're returning, hey guys, welcome back. I appreciate it as always. And I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I did. Had a very interesting conversation with my guy Rob Tibbetts this past weekend, and we touched on multiple subjects. A lot of it with drinking, and some of its effects that we see, and you know, some of the hardships some people come across, especially on like reservation and stuff like that. From the aspect of like not having father figures and stuff like that, and and some of the good things that you know that happens in life, and some of the current things that he's like working on, like writing curriculum and the Ojibwe language for youth. That stuff's awesome, because we've never seen that when I was a kid and stuff like that. And it's puts you in a different retrospect, I guess. So, hey, you be quiet over there. So, makes you appreciate those things a little bit more, even though you don't, or you appreciate it more because you know it wasn't happening. But like going on in the future, if it's still around, or when it's around for a while, people aren't gonna be like, they're gonna be like, whatever, it's everyday thing. And when somebody like myself would be talking about how Rob Tibbetts was writing that curriculum originally, they're gonna be like, like, whoa, like that's crazy, like I never thought of it that way or something, and or there's going to be people that don't appreciate the history because I don't know about you guys, but when they're telling me about 1776, I was daydreaming about playing on the playground when I was a kid, and stuff like that. And but not all kids are like that, there's other kids that appreciate that stuff. And people like me, when I didn't appreciate it at that time, I come to appreciate it when I got older, especially in like high school, when I started to apply myself to school and stuff like that. Because before that, I didn't care about my grades. I wasn't going to play sports or anything because I could play on the playground, right? And stuff like that. Because even playing in high school sports, I wasn't even going to play high school sports. My brother from another mother, I love this dude, Thomas Heesers. He's not perfect, obviously, but he's a great kid, and we brought him up in the conversation too. And I wanted to have a podcast with him, but he kind of fell off, I guess. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Sorry, they try to pick my teeth too much, but life happens, right? And you can only try to pick up and try to do those things at a later date, and because life doesn't always go as you plan it and stuff like that. So you just got to roll with the punches and keep going forward. But he was the one that talked me into playing sports in my high school years, and thank God for that. And I appreciate it, man. Without that, I wouldn't have played sports, period, right? And come on, Mika. So yeah, he was like one of the best. Like he had really a lot of talent, especially for like the basketball court. Very tenacious on defense and on offense too. And he had a lot of smarts, especially when it came to the game of basketball. And because he was a student of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all those people, and stuff like that. And he had his own difficulties too in his life. Lost his father at a young age and stuff like that. And you know, fell in doing like marijuana and stuff like that. And even though I didn't do marijuana, especially at that time, he always respected that, and he thought it was awesome. But that, and that didn't make us any less of friends. Because real friends, they don't pressure people into doing stuff. They accept them for who they are. And you can only help them if they want the help. You can only help them. You can't make them do shit. And learn that at a young age. And he knew it too. So he's like, it's almost like mind your own business, because I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And when people are like when I was younger, we were at the lodge. Kids got caught drinking, but they'd blame their parents and stuff. And I never quite understood that, like blame your parents for it. You're 16 to 18, 19 years old, When you're 18 and older, you're pretty much an adult. Obviously, you got to have somebody buy the booze for you, but, you know, until you're 21. But like I said, I was able to get in the bars when I was 18, and the rules was 21 at the time, and they just never checked my IDs and stuff, until a week before my 21st birthday, of course. But you know, to them, tip money's tip money, But I just like I always laughed because I was like I'd accept responsibility for my own actions. Like these guys they're older than me, and they're so much more like immature. They blame their parents for their own actions when they planned it, when they decided to do these things, and just because your parents are busy helping and trying to do stuff with like the ceremonies and stuff like that, like how's that your excuse, like did you never spend time with me or some shit like that? And it's like, what are you, fucking five, freaking five? It's like, is what it is. You can't do much. But it always just made me laugh. It's like, just accept responsibility for it. I remember always getting whipped by my mom, and she was like, why'd you do that? It's like, it's you who did it, not your parents, and when she's whipping us, we had to try to explain, like, if you didn't just sit there and whatever, you just tell her why you did those things and what you were thinking, and shit like that. And we're like, hey, people love you, man, and nobody want to see your dumbass in jail or prison or anything like that for continuing down this road of being a hoodlum, you know what I mean? And I'm like I said, I'm eternally grateful to my mom. I love my mom more than life itself. But you can love somebody all you want, but if you just gotta step up, especially if they're not doing the right thing for you, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean you have to kick them out of your life or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Like, I have a good mom, stuff like that. So, but there's some stuff I don't agree with, and I'm not gonna put up with it. And if you're not neither, you got those choices of not having them in your life, and or just limiting how much they say in your life, because there's gonna be people that are gonna try to force you to do things you don't want to do and make you feel bad about it and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that that's my mom or anything like that, but I'm putting that in this perspective, right? That you ultimately got to make that decision for yourself, especially when you're an adult, So when you're in these situations, you make those choices, not me, not anybody else. And out of everything I'm saying here, you don't have to listen to any of that, but I'm just, because I'm speaking off my own experiences and some of the things I've seen growing up and stuff, and some of it's sad, but there's a lot of great things too at the same time. And like when I was talking to Rob there, we talked about how some of those, like a lot of those kids, they were very smart or they were very talented at sports, but they just didn't want to apply themselves to school, or they just didn't want to do the homework because they thought it was stupid. Like, oh, I can do this in my sleep. Like, why don't you just do it and get it over with and earn that diploma or something like that, And like I mentioned that I seen people that didn't do it, they dropped out, and then years later they come back and get it because they realize how much you actually need that little piece of paper, right? How much more in life you can get, and that's the bare minimum of most jobs. We under, like, when people do get it and they become janitors, and they're like our general maintenance, I guess you could say. They in a casino, but they'll be like shitting on the job and stuff like that. They're not pooping, like literally pooping, but they're like talking down about the job. And like, dude, it's your job. Who cares? You're getting paid to do it. And so sometimes you're getting paid good money, darn good money, and stuff like that. But they don't know it at the time. When you have something, it's easy to look down and talk crap about and all that stuff. But when you're not able to get those things, it's gonna look like how they're like, it's come descending from the heavens type stuff. And you know, for some people that's how it is, because they're not able to get those jobs because they didn't get a diploma even, and stuff like that. And it they'd appreciate it a lot more, but who knows, maybe not too. So I guess it would just depend on their situations, on if they want to make it to work, because if they didn't make it to school, they don't want to make it to work neither. So there's so many different aspects of it, and some of them sad, some of them are like, that's not their fault, or stuff like that. And maybe they didn't have proper guidance and all that stuff. So, and it sucks when you see some people that get like really good parents, and then they like still come out, or they're still like shitheads and stuff and poop heads, and you're like, dude, your parents are awesome. I had this one buddy at the casino. He'd be like, damn, that bitch is out there right now waiting for me. I'm like, who are you talking about? He'd be like, oh, my mom's picking me up. I'm like, wish my mom picked me up after work, motherfucker. What are you crying about? That's what I told him. Like, you better be nice to your mom. Your mom's picking your dumb ass up at 2 in the morning, motherfucker. My mom ain't doing that shit for me. Unless I gave her like some money or something. But, granted, she didn't want your dumb ass walking the streets that late at night. So she woke up to come get you and, bring you home and then go back to bed, try to get some more sleep, and then go back to work herself. So, she was a single mother, raised multiple kids, including this ungrateful grown up, and there's no shade on him. And if he heard this, he'd know who he is. I don't want to say who it is, but if you ever want to have podcasts, then we'll say who it is at that time. But it's like, I was like, dude, that sucks. That's how you that ungrateful, dude. A lot of people's moms ain't gonna do that, and some people's moms are gonna do that. So, and whether it's happening to you or not, you might not appreciate it. And I've seen many people not appreciate it, and I've been part of not appreciating stuff myself, especially when I was in denial of alcohol and drugs and stuff like that. So, pull your head out of your butt, and life's short, man. One day you're unappreciating your mother, and the next day she's gone. And it happens, man. You're gonna regret that for a long time. Don't have no regrets, guys. Don't have no regrets, because you only have those loved ones for so long. And hopefully you don't underappreciate it. So anyways, I think that's going to conclude this ramble. I don't know where else I was going with it. As usual, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a great week. And as always, peace out. Love you guys.